Unknown 9. Awakening is a pretty cool but also kind of uneven action-adventure game. It was made by Reflector Entertainment, and it has a lot of ideas, but it doesn't always come together well. The game starts off strong with its main character, Haroona. She's a young woman with special powers connected to a place called the Fold, which lets her do things like turn invisible, push enemies, or even possess them. These abilities sound really fun, but the way they're used in the game doesn't always work out well. The game looks amazing, with lots of beautiful places to explore. Haroona's adventure takes her to different cool locations, all of them full of detail. But even though the world looks great, the gameplay doesn't keep up. The combat starts out simple and only gets interesting near the end when tougher enemies like armored soldiers and mystical guardians show up. By then, the game is almost over, which makes the pacing feel off and leaves players wanting more. One of the best parts of the game is Haroona herself. She's voiced by Anya Chalotra, who does a great job bringing emotion to the character. But even her strong acting can't save the story, which feels incomplete. There are lots of unanswered questions, like Haroona's mysterious past and what the Fold really is. It seems like the game is setting up for a sequel instead of giving a full story. This might be okay for people really into the bigger universe, but for most players, it just feels like something is missing. There are also technical problems. On the PlayStation 5, the game can have frame rate drops and even crashes, which makes it frustrating, especially during action scenes. The game feels kind of old, like it was made back in the early 2010s, which might be nostalgic for some players, but also makes it feel outdated for a 2024 game. The combat and stealth can be fun sometimes, like when you sneak up on enemies, but they aren't always consistent. Haroona's powers, like turning invisible or possessing enemies, can be creative, but the enemy AI is often disappointing, and there isn't enough variety in the enemies. The combat could have been a lot better if there was more thought put into the different scenarios. Visually, the game is really impressive. There are lots of cool places to see, from ancient temples to modern cities, all made with care. But even though the locations look great, the level design is very linear, which means you can't really explore freely. It feels like you're just going from one point to the next without much interaction. In the end, Unknown 9: Awakening is a game that tries to do a lot, but doesn't quite succeed. The bigger story with comics, podcasts, and books might add to the lore, but the main game is held back by technical problems, uneven pacing, and an unfinished story. It's obvious that the game is supposed to be just the start of something bigger, but it leaves players with too many questions. If you like action-adventure games, supernatural elements, and the promise of a bigger universe, Unknown 9: Awakening might still be worth checking out. But if you're looking for a well-polished, complete game, this one might not be the best choice. We give Unknown 9: Awakening a 6 out of 10. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future content. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.